drove up in the company car.
Oh yeah, I'm on call.
On call.
I'm on call. I'm on call every week. That's just part of it.
Does that make you nervous?
No, because I work 8 to 4:30, but then anything. I don't get a lot of call outs, but say I need to be ready to go. Like if a broke line, somebody hit a line or whatever. That's why I drive that company truck, because somebody breaks a gas line, I need to be on my way.
So, when you get up in the morning, how do you know where you're going?
Well, I got a computer in my truck, and I log on and see my orders for the day and what type of orders.
Is it set up like a police car with?
Yeah, just like a police car.
So you
just look at my stuff. That's my office, is my truck. And
you ever get stopped for speeding?
No, they don't. I don't. Sometimes if I'm going on a big emergency, I might speed a little bit, but normally they don't mess with me because they want me there or really bad. Like the fire department gets there, they're calling me saying, "Hey, how far out are you?" They want me there.
You've been to now. What is your territory? I guess.
Well, I cover all the way to Walker Valley, Charleston, Lauderdale Highway, all the way down to Hopewell. I mean, all the way down to Dalton Pike. And then I go out 64 Highway as far as we go out, and then out Hopewell. So I got a pretty big area.
I can't imagine how you would get around to all these places. I guess it's more efficient than I would think.
Well, what I do is I look at my orders, and then I'll try to work them and try to keep all the orders I can in the same area, northeast, northwest, southeast, southwest. And I try to do it that way. But sometimes they'll have me first thing going northwest, and then I have to go somewhere else. But normally they let me kind of work it the way I need to work it. They don't.
Now, I've seen sometimes we've had to call you at night, some kind of something's not hooked up. You always go out, and I'm thinking to myself, how many of these is he getting tonight?
Yeah, I don't get that many, but now sometimes you've had to call me. So different people have had to call me with issues. And if you got a baby, like a sick baby or somebody home, and you need heat and gas, I'm going to take care of you. I always try to look at and think of it, if it was me, treat people the way I want to be treated. And that's the way I look at it. And I don't want to sit there and be cold. So I don't want you and your family to be cold.
But you don't seem to get irritated.
No, I don't. I don't get upset about it. I mean, the company's been good to me, and I need to be good to the company and take care of my customers. That's, the thing about it is, people have to have electricity, but they don't have to have gas. So we have to go a little extra step further in the gas business to make sure those people are happy with us. You see what I'm saying? And to me, that's the way I've always felt. And so I just try to treat the way I want to be treated. And I don't want to sit there and be cold, not have no hot water.
But you've been in this for 45 years.
Right.
So how do you know how other sectors operate?
I mean, I hear how Chattanooga, they won't do nothing like that down there. I mean, they don't. But see, they don't have the connect. My people here know me. People, they'll say, "Hey, call Randy." Like the other night, I had a leak call. Yeah. Well, they'd called in and they couldn't get through the company.
Yeah.
So somebody called me and said, "Hey, they want to know if I still work gas company." I said, "Sure." So we got a bad leak over on Old Tasso. I said, "Well, call the fire department 911 and I'll get headed that way." So I was there about the time the fire department got there, and it was an issue. I had to call in more help to take care of it, but you never know what you got till you get there. And like I said, I don't pay much. I don't get a lot of call outs these days. I used to get a lot more, but it's not that bad.
Do you get? You don't get that many like on weekends?
No. See, I've not had one all weekend.
You'll have one when you get back to the car.
I've not had one all weekend here. So and so.
But you're on call all the time. Do you get paid extra for that?
Yeah, they pay me a little extra for pulling the duty, but I don't really have.
So you're working 7 days a week.
Yeah. But I don't have nowhere to. I just it's really not a big issue, you know.
What time do you get home in the afternoon generally?
Well, my work hours is 8 to 4:30, but then a lot of times I'll go over another a little bit, trying to catch up so I won't have a lot the next day. But
Like you go over like
An hour.
5:30 is not a
yeah, 5:36, and then I have a lot of compliance work that has to be done throughout the year, and I try to get all that done in the spring, work over and get all that done because I know light up season's in the fall when we're really busy.
That's when everybody
And I
says.
want to get all my compliance work done before I get into that season.
Now, a lot of plumbers now are running gas lines, right?
Oh yeah, yeah,
They have to have a special license for that, supposedly,
yeah,
right?
yeah. And you know, like I said, we've got some really good plumbers. I mean, you don't have to coach them a whole lot; they know what they're doing.
Does Rick's Plumbing, did they do?
They do a great job. I've used Rick's before. Yeah, and actually I went to school with Rick. He was 3 years ahead of me
The
in
daddy.
school. The
Is that
daddy,
right?
and he passed. I hate that.
Oh, I
But
know.
them boys now, they're doing that. I'm telling you.
I was
jam-up
with Rick's
job.
2 weeks before he died.
Was you? I hate that. He was such a good guy. And
But you know, those two boys, man,
they
you
stay
call
on.
them, they come out.
They
They have
take-
a good billing system. They have they get there in a reasonable amount of time. They're no problem.
Yeah, they get stuff done now.
You have to think Rick taught them that.
Rick taught them well. Yeah, and I mean, you know, it's just hard to believe that Rick passed like he did. I talked to him I don't know, just a couple of months before that. I mean, it was a shocker to me when I found out. I don't even, what do you have, a heart issue?
I'm not sure. I can't remember. He was doing a job for me when he died, and we didn't miss a beat. Josh and Jason just took over like it was nothing.
Yeah, they work real good together. They just,
They do, don't they?
oh yeah.
I hadn't figured out which one's the brains.
I'm not going to say because they might remember it. And they're a lot younger than me. They can take me now.
I think they have both their strong points.
Yeah, they do. That's the way a lot of people are.
They get along good, though.
So, oh yeah, they do real well. And I think Rick taught them, you know, that all comes from home.
Yeah,
you know what I
it
mean?
has to come from home.
It comes from home. You can't go to school and learn how to do that. That comes from home.
You know, I was thinking the other day, Cleveland has advanced so much that I heard a guy say when the VW came, they said in 10 years Cleveland will be unrecognizable. And then the next thing I know, Walker came, and we're slowly approaching.
Well, when I come work gas company, August 1st, 1977, Lee University was Lee College. It had 3 buildings.
That's right.
You could drive down Ocoee, down Church.
That's
down
before the
Parker.
fire, right?
Right. That fire happened in it's in the 90s, because I remember I got the call at 3 o'clock that morning, and they told me what it was, and I was there at 3:08. I mean, I was there, and it was unreal. I was headed over to the meter, and that fireman stopped me, and he said, "Hey, we've done shut that meter off." And about that time, the whole wall fell on top of it. Boy, if I'd kept walking, I'd have been under that.
Is that right?
Yeah.
You mean really?
Really, I was walking to that wall of that meter, and he stopped me. He said, "Hey, we've done turned that meter off." And I stopped there and just stand there a minute, and then that whole wall collapsed right there on top of it. So that could have.
What are the odds of that?
Yeah, that's.
You know, downtown, speaking of that, I got this thing here that says The Bright Star, a Broadway hit musical by Steve Martin and Eddie Brickell, directed by Connie Gatlin.
Oh yeah.
That's at the venue at Creekside. That's the
At
old.
the old theater at the
Did you
Village.
go there growing up?
Oh yeah, sure did.
What do you remember seeing there?
Probably Smoking the Bandit, I'd say.
No Smoking Bandit was at the cinema
Was it?
next
I
to
don't remember what. We used to go there a lot.
the
You know,
Cowboys.
Connie Gatlin was one of my teachers in school
Is that right? What at Bradley?
at Bradley. Yeah, she
What'd she
was.
teach?
art, and I mean theater. I was in
Well,
the
that's what
theater.
she's doing
That's
here.
what she's.
So I didn't know we had a theater company.
You know, I didn't know there's anything down there. They might just rented it for that one thing. I don't know.
It's March the 31st, April 1st. Anyway, that's something that we wouldn't have had 15 years ago.
Right. Well, I'm telling you, you just don't know the people that's moving into this area. I mean, and I see it every day from California, New York, I mean, from everywhere. And it's been going on for a couple of years now. And I can tell you this because I'm there turning gas on and I talk to these people. And they're leaving out there, and it's unreal what they can buy here as opposed to what they sold out there. Mm-hmm. I mean, they come out there and sold this one guy had a 900 square foot lot with a house on it, and he sold it for $1 million. Mm-hmm. Now, he brought that million right here to Cleveland. Look what he can get.
Everything. Everything.
Yeah.
You know, $1 million isn't what it used to be.
No.
I mean, it's like nothing.
No.
Now, when you went to Bradley, you graduated in 77?
Yes.
Did you come right out and start working for the gas company then?
I come in 77. I graduated in 77. I think it was the end of May. And then I got on here August 1st, 77.
Who did you apply with?
I had a friend that hired me, Gene Jeffries. He's still around. But anyway,
I remember Gene.
You remember Gene?
I remember Gene.
He's the one that hired me. I went to school with his daughter, and he's the one that got me the job here.
What about Hans Peterson?
Oh, Hans.
Remember Hans?
I remember Hans. He was a good plumber. I
hadn't thought of him in years.
He was good, though, wasn't he?
I liked him, and Hans liked me.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you just know
Well, everybody likes you, D.
Well,
Who can't like you?
Not everybody, but I remember Hans was just one of those guys. He died, I guess, right?
I think he did pass, yeah.
Hans, boy, he had big arms,
yeah.
muscular. He must have been.
Well, there's piping. He done all that piping and stuff. You know what I mean? He was a really good guy. I've seen a lot of people through the years come as long as I've been there.
Remember Avery?
Oh, yeah.
That worked with Dean and them.
Oh, yeah.
Putting in heat and air. He took a bologna sandwich to work every day. You're about the guy that said he went to the every day he'd slam his sandwich down and say, "Another bologna sandwich." After about a week, one of his guys said, "Hey, why don't you tell your wife to pack you something else?" And he said, "Hey, I pack my own lunch."
He packed his own bologna. He packed what he wanted.
You know, see, Chase Heating and Air is not even there anymore. It's a furniture or something.
Yeah, and it's all the change. I mean, you just see it. It's everywhere, and a lot of growth in Cleveland.
Now, the county is not necessarily getting smaller, right? Except when they go out and annex these little islands.
Right. No, I think they're growing as well, and it's just, I mean, everywhere, like out, they annexed that in. That's where Whirlpool is. Yeah, and that was in the county, and then they had to annex that in to get Whirlpool, and see, that was off my great grandpa's farm, and
Ralph.
Right? No, Bascom T.
Bascom T.
Ralph's daddy.
Ralph's daddy.
And then Ralph had the farm next to it, my Aunt Lou's farm, and there was 44 acres on it, and then Grandpa's I think was 88, so it was like 120 acres there. And we were actually, me and my great aunt, Miss Fennel Beverly, were very close. We were developing that Ralph's over there. We had 122 lots on it. And I mean, we were moving with it. And Barry called me and said that Whirlpool was going to move up north if they couldn't get all of that property right there to put Whirlpool. But they needed what my cousin Billy was the one that owned it at that time, where Whirlpool is, and then they wanted that other piece. So I told her, I said, hey, it'd be more important to me to keep the 1,500 jobs here than to do a subdivision, and you ain't got nobody here to work. So that's why Miss Fennel, she agreed, and she sold that, and that's why the Whirlpool come on account of that.
1,500 jobs is a big deal.
Yeah, and now there's probably 2,200. It's grown a lot since then, and it's a nice plant over there. And that growth right across from it, they're fixing to put on one side like 490 homes, on the other side 370. I don't know. But now the good thing about that is that road's wide enough. They can make it as wide as they want to because I mean they can go ahead and 4-lane that now. And that's what they need to do is they need to 4-lane that before they ever start the building. Because that's what we run into here a lot is they don't 4-lane them and then you got all these subdivisions and nobody can get out.
And then they wonder why. Yeah, it seems I think that has to do with planning for the future.
And you need to do that.
Like looking forward. You know, they used to have committees that would get together and kind of brainstorm where the growth is. You can control the growth if you'll preempt the infrastructure.
You just need to grow it all together. You need to grow the infrastructure with your plans.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, that's why I'm got involved in politics. I've never been, but that's why I'm running for county commissioner.
You're the least political guy I know.
Yeah. I don't know a whole lot about nothing, but I'm wanting to learn, and I'm willing to learn.
So you're going to run?
I'm running for 3rd District County Commissioner. I'm running for the seat that Johnny Mull's given up, and you know, and I'm getting involved for things like that. But also, anybody that knows me knows that you can call me and contact me if you got an issue or a problem. I'm going to handle it. You call me, and I'll answer the phone, and I'll try to get something done.
The problem they'd have is working you too hard. Let me tell you about Capstar Bank. They're located in Nashville, Hendersonville, Gallatin, Athens, Madisonville, Sweetwater, Etowah, and in Cleveland at 950 25th Street and 3855 North Ocoee Street. I've used them. I like them. Give them a try. They're no problem. Where's the 3rd District?
Well, it goes out Benton Pike, takes in on the left all the way out to Peach Orchard Hill, and then you come up Peach Orchard, it's on the left all the way down Stewart Road, and then it takes in Bow Street, Blythe Ferry Road, and then it goes all the way down and takes in all the way down to Bowman Avenue and Centenary Avenue. It's got
Is that right?
Oakland Drive. Yeah, I didn't realize it was near as big as what it was. I went there and got a printout the other day. I'm like, golly, these 189 or 190 pages front and back of addresses. I was like, good grief.
So it's like north of
Northeast and some northwest in it. But
are you knocking on doors? I mean, you're really running.
I've been out knocking on doors, putting up signs. I went out yesterday and probably 4 or 5 hours. I've been going in the evening and making phone calls. And of course, a lot of these people know me because I've been to their
Everybody knows you.
Well, and they know, these people know me and know that I will be the voice of their community. If you call me, I'm going to answer and I'm going to help you and take care of you, you know. And I think that's what a commissioner is your voice of the community. I think that sometimes these commissioners we got haven't had their constituents at heart when they, about a lot of this stuff. But that's
I'd rather run against anybody but you. I mean, I just quit.
Well, I don't know about, I've always tried to treat people the way I want to be treated. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the way you're supposed to do. And
I don't even know if maybe politics is more of a popularity contest or something.
I don't know.
I don't know if it's, I don't know. Politics is a strange thing.
It is.
But you should be able to handle the county commission. That shouldn't be a problem.
No,
I mean, and then what's there to learn? To get up and say, hey, we're going to do this or that. You say, well, my area doesn't like it, and I don't think it's a good idea, and I'm against it.
Yeah, and that's what you got to do. You got to be the voice of your community and be in contact. Talk, which I do that all the time anyway. Talk to people,
and if they've got an opinion that's different than yours, You don't have to go out and tell everybody that that nut thinks this way.
No,
You just take it under consideration.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, everybody's got an opinion, and but I just think that I enjoy that part of my job, helping people and listening to people, and I will do that. I'll have the same thing as commissioner.
Yeah. Well, and
You got to have a compassion for helping people, and I've
and
always had that.
you've always got that.
I've always got
Where
that.
did you get that? Because that wasn't something you've learned or
No,
you tried to
that's
do.
something I've just always had a compassion for helping people. I mean, I think it was the way I was brought up, I guess, and because
Who is mainly who brought you up?
my dad and mom. My dad worked at Cleveland Utilities for 40 years, Von Howard, and Dad was always very helpful with people. And you had an
Vaughn
issue,
was good to me.
and that's my
I did
dad.
not realize
know it
till
was my
this
dad.
second that
That
was
my
your dad.
And I'm telling you, if you had an issue, you had a problem, my dad would help you.
He didn't make you feel funny about it,
No,
or
and-
because that happens.
But now, I mean, he'd go right in there. I mean, you call him, he was walking to get something done about it.
Why didn't I know that was your dad?
You did. I don't know why you did not know that was my dad. Sure enough, that's
He
my
knows
dad.
me.
Yeah, he's gone now,
Yeah.
but he was he spoke highly of you. I'm telling you, my dad.
I liked him. I remember when he retired. You know,
Yeah.
you could go down there and ask him something, and he didn't give you that. I don't know what it is, but I know it. I know it when I see it. He didn't give you that feeling that
Right.
some people give you. Some people just give you that feeling.
That's where I got it. See, and that's how you get. You learn a lot of this stuff. By how you're brought up, and then, and like I said, I learned a lot of stuff you learn at home. Like you can't go to learn that stuff.
Von Howard, I never realized that.
Yeah.
Golly,
Yeah, yeah.
I knew him better than I knew you.
You did. Yeah, because a lot more electric. But,
Yeah.
yeah. He was. I sure miss my daddy. I tell you, he was.
He was calm.
Yeah. Yeah, he never got upset about nothing.
Mhm.
No, he didn't. Never belittle nobody or nothing. He just.
I went to a place this week. I won't say where it's at, but I had my office here gave me a bill to pay with a credit card, and they put the check in the envelope. So I went and handed it to the lady. And I was busy. I'm not thinking about this thing, and she gives me a receipt. And I said, "Oh, I'm sorry. I was supposed to put that on the credit card." She said, "Well, you had a check in there." I said, "Yeah." I said, "But it was made out to American Express.
Right.
I'm supposed to take that back." And you would have thought I pulled her toenail off.
Oh,
And the story gets worse. So the next day, they give me another envelope. I go down, I get my coffee, and then I go by the city or that place, and I hand it to the lady. This wasn't the same lady. This was two ladies down. And she said, "You're going to pay this time with a credit card or check?" And it dawned on me that this girl was mad. And it was really, I thought to myself, boy, they are hard up on help. This is the only people that this place has representing them. I mean, if there was such as a gas company, I don't know Atlanta Gas. I don't know Chattanooga Gas. They don't know me.
Right.
But they've got you as a representative,
Right.
and that speaks highly of them. Whoever's got these people working there, they need to just go ahead and quit.
Scratch and start all over, don't they?
But I get that a lot. I don't know if people have trouble getting help, or if everybody's frustrated from COVID, or what.
Yeah, I don't understand how people. Like I said, I see that. I see people like it too, and it's like they don't have any respect for you. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, what's the big deal?
What's the big deal? Just
It wasn't even made out to them.
Just
they
void
couldn't
it
have
out.
used it
Yeah,
anyway.
it's not, I don't. They try to make and there again, like with the Chattanooga Gas, they don't have to have us. So I go an extra mile to make sure you know, because people got to have electricity. They don't have to have gas. So I'm the last one that they see. So the feeling that I leave them with is what they've got in their mind.
That's it.
So, I mean, I want to have them feel good when I leave and make sure they're happy and don't have any concerns or issues. And that's what I always try to do.
I've always wondered about places like Walmart. They spend millions and millions on advertising. And if when you got up there to the front thing, if they had plenty of people there to check you out,
Right.
that was smart enough to add and subtract and got you out of there quick, they wouldn't have to advertise.
No, they wouldn't have to advertise.
You can do away with advertising.
Well, you know, and I know that some of these places they'll send you to training on how to. And a lot of these places it helps people out if they do that. But I'm telling you now, Walmart they've got some trouble in a lot of their help over there.
Yeah. I bet I hadn't been to Walmart in 10 years.
You have.
Take me too long. I parked half a mile away to get to
Yeah.
the door. Fire lanes. And
Yeah, and I like to try to help local as much as we can. You know what I'm saying?
but that's just your nature. You've always been that way.
Yeah, I like to.
You're, you know, maybe if you was in a business that was on commission, you might have to be different.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, you like being able. Our businesses are similar. Tomorrow I can go any route I want
Oh yeah.
at whatever time I want. And just you ever think about this? You put these machines where you put all the quarters in, they go like this,
Right.
and it's like everybody gets up in the morning and they drop their quarters in, and however it shakes out, that's what they got to deal with
Yeah.
tomorrow.
See, yeah. But see, that's the thing I like about my job. I can pretty well go the way I need to go, and as long as I get my job done, and that's all that matters. At the end of the day, I get all my orders done, and
But running for county commission,
yeah,
that is going to be a new venture for you.
it's a new venture. But now I've been going to some of them meetings for a year or so. Been sitting in on them because I've been learning about this stuff, and I don't know a whole lot about it, but I mean, I feel like I'll do good because the thing about it is you're a voice of the people that elect you, and you've got to always remember that they've elected you for a reason, and that reason is to be a voice of the community and help people. And
Did you ever read that? Did you ever know Troy Dixon? Troy L. Dixon. He used to hang around the courthouse, and he was a political prognosticator and that sort of stuff.
no, I don't think I need.
Well, anyway, he wrote a little book on how to journey to public office, and the last chapter in it was "Elected Now What." And it said in there that you're the voice of the people, and that you're going to be running again. You need to represent the people.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly right. And I don't think that a lot of these people we've got elected today have been the voice of the community with some of the things they've not. I just don't feel like that. But you know,
What kind of issues are there? I mean, I wouldn't even know what issues there are.
well, I mean, a lot of people they didn't understand like that tax increase that they voted on, and you know. So, I mean, you know, like I said, there's a lot of people that's up in arms about that. But, like I said, you need to listen to your people that put you in there, you know, and have community meetings occasionally and find out your concerns.
Yeah,
and
what
their-
would be wrong with that?
Yeah, there would be nothing wrong with that.
Without having to be on the.
Without having
Tuesday.
a big ordeal, just say, hey, we're going to have a community meeting, send out to your area that you're going to have a community meeting and find out.
That's an
concern.
ingenious idea.
I think, well, that's the people that put you in there. And if they got issues, I've had people talk to me about traffic, flying through their neighborhood, and wanting them little, since
Speed
I've been
humps.
running, they've
Yeah.
been wanting some of them humps put in. I had one that her light wasn't working good out at the road, and I made a phone call on that already. So,
Now
I
that-
mean,
That's a big deal to her.
Well, yeah, it's a big deal, and like I said, it's not a that's something big for her because at night she goes out, she can't see, and so yeah, that's a big deal, and she don't feel safe, and that's the thing about it is you got to be a voice of the people that put you in there. Is what you got to be.
But having a gathering once every so often of people, and Fred might talk to Bob and find out that they're not that different at this meeting.
Right. You might find out, and some things you might be able to work out. You see what I'm saying? It might not even really be an issue.
They said Harry Deathrow worked out every city commission meeting before it got there. He'd work out the problems ahead of time. But nowadays they want to have the argument in the forum.
Yeah, have a big
brawl and
I
stay late at night.
Yeah. You could just occasionally have a couple of meetings a year or whatever, and if you got concerns and I tell you a lot of things that's issues is this traffic we getting everywhere because they haven't planned far enough ahead on building roads before you do all this subdividing. I mean. Over where I live on Michigan Avenue and everything, that's.
When I go that way, I say, "Here's Michigan. There's a 20th and Michigan Avenue. How can I go to not even go over there? It's so backed up."
And what I'll do is I always think of what time of the day it is. Is it when it's traffic or school or work? And then I know which way to go. And that's another thing. Like when I'm going, if I'm on say the northeast side of town, and then I get an emergency call out in Hopewell or whatever, I know if it's at 3 o'clock, I can forget even going through town. So I just go down Harrison Pike and come down Freewell Road because I can make it that way. So that's what I always do. Is I always look at the time and then I plan what's the best way to get there.
You're right. If I'm down at the village green and I'm going to come back to the office at 4 o'clock, it's about 25 minutes.
Right.
And used to, I could go from the village green to Farmland Corners and never stop. I could hit the lights just right.
Yeah, but you could probably go through some of these old times.
I guess quicker.
And come a lot quicker than you could doing it the way you're doing it. And it's all in, I've traveled these roads so much that I know, when to hit it.
You know the color of the mailbox.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I know the color of the mailboxes. So, but I drive probably over 100 miles a day, every day.
You're really community minded. Like, the waitresses at the restaurants.
Yeah, I'm very, very community, and like if they call me from Atlanta and they'll say, "We've got a gas leak, we need to go," and they'll give me the address, then I'll just rattle off the name. And it's funny how I remember that, but I know the name. And it's because I'm involved and try to be involved with my. That's not just a customer. I always try to make it a friend and a customer as well. I try to, and that's the reason I enjoy it. Everybody said, "When are you going to retire?" I said, "I don't know, maybe 10 years. I'm 62, maybe 70, 72. I don't know."
What is the retirement age? They have a retirement plan?
Yeah, we got a good retirement. But they asked me, and I said, "I'll probably go till I'm 70. I don't know, 72.
But you've got it down to a pretty good science.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, schedule-wise.
Schedule, I got to take my vacation summertime. And, I don't, there's not a day goes up, comes on, and I dread having to go to work. I mean, I enjoy going to work.
You listen to the radio while you're driving?
Oh, yeah. And
what do you listen to?
I listen to John Boy and Billy in the morning. I got to have John Boy and Billy
Yeah.
Fix, you know what I mean?
What
But
station is that?
106, KZ 106. I gotta have.
Are you
their
Are you a
Yeah.
Southern rock guy?
Yeah, yeah, and then I'll switch it
Like
over. I'll
what's
switch-
one of your favorite songs?
Uh,
I mean, mid '70s. You were rock and roll.
oh
right?
yeah. But I always listen. I like just listening to their show more than I even do the music. They've got some good skits on there, but I just and then I'll switch around. I listen to all different kinds of music. I'm not necessarily just on one certain thing. I listen to different things.
If I turn my radio, I keep my radio on. Usually it's on WCOE
Right.
But the amount of music the amount I listen to, it's like 15 minutes because my phone's ringing all the time.
And that's me. I don't listen to a lot of music. I listen to their skits, but I'm in and out of my truck working, so I don't. I'm not sitting there listening to the radio. And
what was the big song when you graduated? About the time you graduated,
it was. I'm trying to remember now.
77 would have been
77. That was it.
Sweet.
Yeah, wasn't it?
Fox on the Run.
Yeah. Trying to think. What year did you graduate?
84.
84.
Yeah. But you mid to late 70s. Was that disco?
Yeah. That was in. Yeah, disco junk was in. Yeah. Yeah. I wasn't no.
Boy, a lot of people liked it.
Oh yeah, I had that long hair and that. Yeah. But like I said, I started here. I was 18 when I started the gas company. So, and the last time I used a sick day was in 1981. It's been 41 years.
Did you? People like me and you escaped COVID because we're not around that many people for a long time.
And I had Rocky Mountain spotted fever from a tick bite. Then is what happened to me way back in 81.
Boy, that is rough.
It about killed me. I'm telling you, I was sick.
How did you know that you had it?
Well, I was sick. I come into work on Monday, and I was reading meters then. I read my meters, and I went home and went to bed. And the next day I come in, and I wasn't feeling no good. And I got through by about 2:33, and I come down there and laid down there at the shop on the couch. And finally, about 4, I told my boss, I said, "Hey, I'm going to doctor. I don't feel good." And I got doctor. My temperature was 106.
106.
Yeah, and they said he asked me, "Is Dr. Batchelor? He's dead now, but he couldn't find nothing wrong with me." And he said, last thing he asked me, he said, "Do you remember taking a tick off of you?" And as a matter of fact, I took one off my arm Saturday.
You hadn't thought. You hadn't correlated.
And he said, "Well, I don't know. By the time results get back," he said, "you'll be pushing up daisies." I'd be dead.
Golly.
So he said, "I'm putting you right in the hospital." So I went out there and locked my truck and walked across the road up there and checked in. And
what do they give you for Lyme disease? Is that what they call
no,
it?
it's Rocky Mountain
Spotted
Spotted Fever. They put
Fever.
you on antibiotics and fluids and stuff. And I lost 18 pounds in 3 days. It was a crash diet.
Well, that's an odd name for it, Rocky Mountain Spotted Fever.
And, I don't know how much it's around still, but it was bad.
I bet I hadn't found a tick on me in years. I don't know if they've just
You
left
eat
or
a lot
what.
of garlic or something?
No.
Have you got a lot of possums? Possums eat ticks. Don't ever
I got 2 possums come up here every night at 8 o'clock and eat
Well,
the cat
they
food.
eat ticks. They eat ticks.
Is
So
that
don't get
right?
me- Yes, sir. They're a tick eater.
The possums will come back on this back porch. They won't bother the cats at all. They'll finish eating their food and they leave. It's not a problem.
Yeah, they get along, man.
They get along.
That's what it's all about.
They get along. The cat don't. I got one cat named Jim Price. Do you know Jim Price?
Oh yeah.
He was a good friend of mine. The black cat is Jim Price, and the other one's Tip. But that black one showed up the day I got back from Jim Price's funeral.
So you named him Jim Price.
Might be Jim Price.
It might be. It might have.
He showed up the same day.
Yeah. It's crazy. The other day I come around a couple of weeks ago. I come around back in my garage, and I got a little stray dog, Charlie Brown. I named him Charlie Brown, and I brought him home last year, and he's just a little outside mutt. And there's 3 coyotes running right with him. They just about take old Charlie down. When I pulled around through there, they see me and took off up the hill.
What do they do? They get some say that they try to get the dogs to fall.
That's what I think he's trying to do, trying to get old Charlie Brown to fall. And he's outrunning them. Now I had them to kill a billy goat I had a few years back, and they ate everything but the head. They left the head. I come out there, and the head was laying there, and the cable I had. So I mean, I don't like them coyotes. They're bad.
Coyotes. That's different than a fox. A fox is not a problem, right? A
Yeah,
red
fox is not a problem. No, I believe they might be a Republican.
Yeah.
they want to get along. You know, I ain't trying to change this, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But
now you see a fox every now and then.
Oh yeah.
See, I ride bicycles out in the country, and you'll see one out in the field.
Oh yeah.
They're little bitty things.
But and I've got quite a few deer, and I'm surprised them coyotes hadn't found the deer yet. But now I got a donkey up there, and that donkey, every once in a while I hear him kick. They'll kick the taste out of a coyote's mouth.
Now, I was leaving here one night late, and I drove through the mall. I was making a deposit at the Bank of Cleveland night drop, and there was a coyote going across the parking lot.
They come to town.
They're long.
Yeah. Huh.
I mean, they're not short. They're a long animal.
Yeah.
It's like a long dog.
I'm telling you, they're mean. They're aggressive. They'll take your dog out.
And we're getting more. They say that now that we're getting a lot of this development, they're being
being
spread.
drove out of those places.
Yeah.
See, that's their inhabitant, and now they're being drove to town or whatever, wherever they can get around.
Do you go out? Do you go eat at a lot of these restaurants during the day?
Oh yeah. I eat around a little bit and visit.
You eat at Cameron's anymore?
I ain't been there. I was gonna go the other day. I ain't been there in a long time.
I haven't been there in.
We used to go there way
I
back.
used to go all the time.
But I ain't been there, and somebody invited me the other day to go, and I didn't. I still go down to the Rebel some and eat.
I don't go to the Rebel much, and I hadn't been to Cameron's in 10 years, I guess, too. And the Old Fort.
Oh yeah,
go there.
We have to go there.
Have to go there. And then,
especially if you're gonna be in politics, you got to go there. I mean,
right. They got hot dogs on Wednesdays now.
Oh, do they?
Yeah. 2 hot dogs and chili, or sauerkraut. But sometimes I get tired of eating fried food like I used to. I don't know if I'm getting older or healthier.
Yeah, a little bit of both. A lot of times I just like to stop by the house and eat lunch.
That would be really nice if you kind of had it scheduled.
And see, that's what I kind of make my own schedule, and I kind of do. Yeah, I don't like eating out all the time. It gets.
I guess we eat out so much. Eating out of a night, of an evening, I'd just soon go home.
Yeah.
What do you do on the weekends?
Not much. I don't. I don't go out and eat much because, like I said, we do that through the week so much. I just now it's getting summertime. I'm gonna probably grill out some.
Do you have any hobbies?
I'm the president of the old car club downtown at the courthouse, so I've got several. I don't know how many cars I got. Maybe 15. I built me another new build another day. So yeah, I've got hobbies. I keep.
How many is in that group?
There's not that many in the club anymore, but normally we'll have anywhere. Well, that first car show is normally 700 or 800, but then we'll run 300 or 400 cars at the car show.
I got a few friends of mine have their mail at that post office.
Oh yeah.
And they get so mad because they can't get in there to get their mail during the car show.
During the car, oh, is that right? Well, yeah, they can come up there. It's just that, yeah, and it's only April through October, the 4th Saturday, so. Yeah.
April through October. So there's a season for the car shows.
April through October. And
what's the point though of a car show? I've never been to a car show.
It's just to visit with people and show off your cars and whatever.
But it's the same cars.
No, it's different cars. They're very well. You would be surprised all the different cars, different people from around here come in. I mean,
But what's the point?
you never have been into old cars. You never have gone
Never
to Pigeon
have.
Forge. And
I'm
looked
not
at
even into new cars.
Oh yeah, you just barely like the car you drive.
I remember when I got married, we went to our honeymoon and we went to Gatlinburg, Sevierville or somewhere, and there was a car show and it took us 3 hours
Oh, yeah.
to get through Gatlinburg.
Yeah, I've been there a lot of those. Yeah, I used to go to those all the time, but I've not been in a while. I just
Now, when they get these gas cars, when we start getting a lot of electric, if electric takes over, will an old car be like a coal burner?
probably.
I mean, will you eventually say, "Hey, where's the gas station?"
I don't know that me and you'll ever see it in our lifetime because, I mean, it sounds like a good idea till you get to stop thinking. Now, just think about this. What would happen if we had all electric cars up in Kentucky when they had that tornado come through here a month or two ago, and some of those houses don't have electricity for
Now that's
3
a
or 4
good
months.
point. That's a good point. What would they have done?
What would they have done if they're not got electricity for 3 to 6 months and they're sitting there? What?
Can natural gas? Can you put that in a car?
No. Oh yeah, you can actually, and they've got a lot more down in Georgia, and our vehicles in Chattanooga are set run on natural gas. And we used to have a pumping station down there, but we don't anymore. They have to go down to Dalton to fill them up. But I'm saying that if you go all electric cars, they've not thought about all these places where
Power outages
and stuff like that. And you might think that you're saving a lot of money, but you look that big old cord that you're plugging into that electric car. How much is it actually costing you? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. If you think I run this, you can run a little space heater and it'll cost you a fortune on your electric
So
bill.
just think about that.
Yeah.
And you got to leave that sucker charged up for 3 hours or however long. I don't know if it's going to be the thing. You know, the thing about it was we were doing our own fuel a year and a half ago, and oil was $40 a barrel when Trump was in there. And now we're at $96 a barrel. We should have never shut down the Keystone Pipeline. We should be continuing what we were doing then. Now, and then we wouldn't have all the issues. I know it cost twice to fill up my truck today that did a year ago, my company
It's
truck.
starting to get significant.
Yeah, and it is not going to come down between now and vacation time.
No, it'll just go up, I guess.
It's just going to go up. And there's no reason for it. That's the thing I'm thinking.
That's why I drive a little bitty car. Gas is cheap.
Yeah.
On my, it's not. It's of course
It
I'm
don't
still.
kill you.
Well, I'm still $550 from the Orbit. I get my bill every month. It's $500, $550.
Yeah.
That's a lot. You think about that. That's $6,000 a year.
Yeah.
I got to build one whole house to make that.
You gotta, you gotta get with the program. Yeah, and I just don't really see, like I said, there's a whole lot to converting all these cars to electric cars. Just imagine what it's going to be. You're going to have it all set up in your house, and still, your light bill's $200 to $400, $500 a month now. So just imagine what it's going to be.
Wonder what the average electric bill for a house is in Cleveland, Tennessee.
I'd say probably $200 to $300. I'd say.
Plus your cable bill.
Yeah.
Do you have that's another thing. I never have figured out that AT&T Spectrum Charter.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even know what I have. But I watch Roku.
Right.
You have Roku?
No, I don't think.
Well, it's amazing.
Is it?
It's like free.
Right.
And you turn your TV onto that HDMI 1, and you can go on there and you can watch Rumble, you can watch anything you can watch on YouTube, anything you watch, they got ESPN, it's free. It's called Roku.
I very seldom sit down and watch TV. I just, normally when I come in,
What do you do?
Just well, I'm always out piddling around. Like in summertime, I'll stay up and mow. I mean, I've got 25 acres. I'll mow and stuff like that. You know, just work outside. I don't spend a lot of time inside.
What time do you go to bed usually?
Around 10. Normally about 10. I get up at 5.
Why 5?
I just get up and get my day started.
Are you sleepy when you get up?
No.
You just wake up and you're awake?
Wake up, ready to roll. Get up and give me
It's
a
not
cup.
like, oh man, I need to stay another 30 minutes.
I get up and get with the program.
You drink coffee at home?
Yeah, I have a cup in the morning, and sometimes I get a cup while I'm out.
What kind of coffee you drink at home?
I get that, I ought to know the name of it. I got them little pods.
Like here, K-Cups?
Yeah, that's what I drink. That same stuff right there. Yeah.
Starbucks?
Yeah. That's good. That's the best way to do it. That way you ain't got half a pot sitting there wasted.
That's right. And it's pretty well perfect.
Oh, yeah.
What about if you're out and about and in the mornings you need to get another cup? Where you get it at?
I a lot of times run through McDonald's and get a cup. Yeah. I got one this morning at Dairy Queen. I had to run down to the office.
Dairy Cream. They got good coffee?
Yeah. I went this morning to Chattanooga to get me some stuff that I was going to be short on this week and calibrate my leak machine and stuff like that. I like to do that on the weekend. That way, if something comes in tomorrow, a big meter set, I'll have stuff on the truck to do the job. So I always try to stay ahead.
Let me tell you about Gobbles Automotive. They're on North Lee Highway, just past Captain D's. They're family owned, they're family operated. My whole family uses them. They've stood the test of time. They will do you a good job. Give them a try. They're no problem.
You said calibrate. What are you talking about?
Well, we've calibrated our machine every month. We put it on machine and test it, make sure it's accurate, because my leak machine tests for gas and carbon monoxide, and you want to make sure that it's accurate, you know, and that's, you calibrate monthly. Because you don't want to, you know, go out on a machine that it's been thrown around everywhere and hasn't been calibrated, and you don't know if it's working, that you could leave somebody in danger and them not even realize it.
Like a torque wrench that's not calibrated.
A torque wrench not calibrated. So that's pretty important. And actually mine that I went to calibrate today, it failed while I was down there, so I had to leave it and get a new one. So, because
Do you always eat lunch with it? I see you a lot of times eat lunch with the same people.
Not necessarily. I do quite a bit, but I have different ones I eat with. A lot of times my foreman will come up and meet him, catch Aubrey's or something there once or twice a week.
That much? That often?
Yeah. He normally comes up on Wednesday. He likes them Wednesday wings till they kept going up so much.
Where at Aubrey?
Yeah.
Wednesday wings. I never heard of that.
They got wing. Well, there was 50 cents a piece. Now they're $1.50 a piece. I guess everything. You know how everything's going up? It's crazy.
You ever go to Bud's on Brainerd in Chattanooga?
Yeah.
Remember they had the quarter wing night?
Oh yeah.
Or taco. They had quarter wings, and then they had quarter tacos night. Me and John Paul went down there one night and we ate 23 tacos.
Golly.
And he said, I'm going to eat one more and that's it. He ate, together we ate 24 tacos.
I liked old John Paul. He was a good one. Yeah. Well, you've lost a lot of good friends, haven't you?
You could fill this room up with them.
Yeah.
Twice.
Yeah.
I mean, you just think about them.
Oh, I know.
I mean, you know, was talking about Jim Price and Larry Presswood.
Oh, yeah.
And, I mean, I could just, you think there's a hereafter?
Oh, yes, absolutely, yeah.
No proof?
I think there is, and I think that a lot of them we're going to get to see again. So.
I feel like, have you ever noticed this? And I don't know if I don't think it's my imagination. But if I'm working on something that I'm trying to get done that a good friend of mine knows about and they die, it'll be solved within a few days of them dying.
Yeah.
Now you just notice if that's not the case.
Yeah, I believe you're right.
You think it's just death is just a passing on to the next realm?
Hmm. Yeah, and I think that it's we're all going to make an appointment. You know what I'm saying? We're all headed there eventually. So, I'm telling you, this COVID seemed like it's took a lot of people on early. You know what I mean? It's been bad.
It's been bad.
And
I never was afraid of it, but I know it was real.
oh yeah, it's real. Yeah, it's just a bad, and there's no rhyme or reason to some people. I mean, been healthy,
That's right.
and they've got it, and it's took them, and I'm like, I don't understand.
Well, it's like Randy Brown's son.
Oh yeah, Matt. Oh
I mean-
yeah, I love that boy.
Oh, I did
he was
too.
great.
He was
And always
he could-
exercise, working out.
he'd whip both of us.
Oh, yeah.
At the same time.
I seen him a month before that, and he hollered at me over on Dalton Pike, and then all of a sudden he was gone, and I'm like, it just.
It just floors me. My good friend Steve Kirby. You know Steve? Lived down on Tunnel Hill Road. He was a real good friend of mine. He just died like that with it. And I went to his funeral and I almost cried. And I don't cry.
I'm telling you, I think the worst thing you can do if you get that is sit around. They say you need to get up and walk around, move, because they say if you lay on your back, then you get that fluid around your lungs and you get that COVID pneumonia.
I think I'm just like you. The people that I've talked to that got up and tried to, if not just roll.
A friend of mine he called me one day and he sounded like death eating a cracker. I mean, he was awful. And I told him, I said, David, I said, whatever you do, don't lay down. I said, you get up every hour, walk through your house, walk to your mailbox and back. I said, you might not feel like it, but walk around.
Yeah, get
and
up.
Stay up. And I said, get you some apple cider and heat it up, drink lots of warm fluids and stuff. And
Why apple cider?
well, I mean, it's good if you heat it up and drink. They say you need to drink lots of warm fluids and stuff. And
Who'd you say, David?
David Orr, friend of mine. And the next day he sounded like a different person. And he just kept progressing, got better and better after that. So I don't know. I think that, worst thing you can do. And I told him, I said, whatever you do, don't lay on your back. You lay on your side or your belly when you sleep. And that's what he did. So, yeah, it's just bad. I don't know where we're going. It's just like one string, we go to another,
But, you're right. Somebody will get it and they'll say, oh, I was down for 2 days, but I watched movies and I cleaned my house. And the other person will say, man, it just about killed me.
Well, my son's had it twice, and
Exactly.
he's felt fine every time. So that's what I'm saying. You just
And I don't think it has anything. A lot of times people will embarrassed that they had it worse than somebody else, but it has nothing to do with health.
It has nothing to do with health. No,
I don't think
it don't.
it does. I think maybe it has to do with, this is my theory, and this is worth 50 cents. But I think it has to do with how much of the virus you took on at the time you got it. Like if this room was closed in, or if you hear of somebody that says, oh, I went to Nashville with a friend of mine and we were in the car together and they'll have it worse than somebody that got it
Just
from a ball game
yeah.
or something. So it's like
I don't know.
what I know.
Well, you're somewhat of a genius, is what.
You may be right.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just hard to figure it out. I tell you, I don't.
We was talking about before we went on air about Jeff Howard, whether or not he was related to you. He was one of the greatest guys that I've ever known in my life.
He was just a great guy. I'm telling you.
Period.
Yeah, I was really surprised when I seen that he passed so young.
He always wore overalls, didn't he?
Oh yeah, and
I don't know if that was because he liked it or it's the only thing it would fit.
but he's always in them overalls, and
He had a good life, didn't he?
yeah,
He had no visions of grandeur. He just lived.
he just lived. Yeah, and I knew his daddy, Larry. His daddy, Larry.
I went over at their house one day. We played football, and we had chili and milk.
Oh yeah.
And why I remember stuff like that is beyond me.
Yeah.
And we went over there with David Pelly. Did you ever know David Pelly? You're about his age, but anyway, isn't it funny what things you remember that have no significance?
But you remember, yeah.
Why is that? I can't remember anything that happened the day before or the day after.
But you
I just
remember,
remember
I know.
that chili and
I
I don't know. Remember he didn't his wife or somebody ran Katie's Kitchen?
Katie's Kitchen, yeah. Oh yeah.
Who was Katie?
You know, I don't know who Katie was, but his wife run it, and Larry and them was down there all the time.
Larry,
his daddy? Yeah, Jeff's daddy.
Jeff he would work there.
Oh yeah, Jeff worked there. Yeah.
The last time, now they closed down, right?
Right. Oh yeah.
How many years before he died? Several.
Jeff only died. Yeah, I'd say they closed down 3 years probably before Jeff passed.
I never will forget. He came out of the kitchen, and I looked at him, and he looked at me, and I didn't say nothing. And 2 years later, he died. So why I didn't say nothing to him, I don't know. I guess maybe I was wondering if he remembered me because I
was up at his old house 2 weeks ago, maybe last week, and talked to his son. And
oh, I didn't know he had a son.
Yeah. Yeah, and we was talking about his daddy. Sure was.
Now, somebody else was talking about you're related to my old Bible teacher at Bradley High.
Who is that?
Miss Shrite.
Miss Shrite.
Shrite, yeah.
That was my dad's sister. Yeah, Miss Shrite. There's a lot of educators in my family. My great-grandpa, my great-grandma was teachers. And then all of their children, let's see, Edith, Lou, Charlotte, and they were all teachers. And
now, my cousin Randy, his wife is a Fennel, and she teaches.
oh, is that
Susan
right?
Fennel?
Yeah.
Is
I
that
don't know.
right?
They might be. They
I'm
probably
sure.
can. I'm
I'm
sure,
sure.
that they are.
Because they lived over in Fennel Estates.
Yeah, and but all of, well, now my Uncle Charlie, Dad's brother, that Wholesale Supply Group. Do you ever know Charles?
Oh, yeah.
That's my dad's older brother. So you're finding out a lot of stuff.
Well, you can't talk about nobody.
Hey,
can you? But I remember Charlie. I
Charlie
didn't realize that.
Charlie's
been here.
Charlie let me put a sign in his yard yesterday. I went by there. And
Charlie's been here.
He's 95.
Is that right?
Yeah.
He don't look it, does he?
But no, he's. But I asked him if I could put a sign. He said, "You sure can." He said, "I'd be honored for you." But I said, "Well."
Charlie
thank you."
always says, "Are you okay?"
He always calls me every year. It's time to light his logs, and he'll say, "It's your favorite uncle," and I'd say, "I know what you want." I'll be on just a little bit, Charlie. Yeah, that's my dad's brother. Yeah.
Before COVID, you could go in there and get a bag of popcorn.
Oh yeah.
But I don't think he can't do it now.
No. Frank Calfee called me the other day and told me he's popping some popcorn and told me to come get some.
We're at his
store.
house.
No, Frank Calfee over on Georgetown.
Oh, he just called you and said, popcorn?
I've always helped him through the years, take care of him. He said, "Hey," because I got some other day, and he called the other day and told me, yeah.
Where does he live? Past Fishtails?
No, he lives right over there on Georgetown Road, right there at Kaywood Drive. Frank Calvin has some apartments right over there.
Oh, you mean Greg's
Greg's
dad?
dad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't realize that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I knew he owned it, but I didn't know.
See?
Dang, it's a small world. isn't it?
Hey, and I'm telling you, I know all the places to go, brother. You need to follow me.
I know where all the free coffee is.
Yeah, you
And
go
clean
to
bathrooms.
plywood. Steve's always gonna have clean plywood, ain't he? Got Tyndall's.
I don't go down to Tyndall's much. It seems like it's hard to get to. Or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
But Cleveland Plywood, I guess I spent 10 years there, 15 years there. Literally spent them there.
When you
I had an office back.
was building over
And
there.
when I'm telling you, I had a whole desk back there. But now, let me ask you this. Tomorrow, you'll go in your circle?
Yeah.
What
Oh, yeah.
time will you pull out of your driveway?
I'll probably leave about 6, get out, and start moving around. But I don't, I log on at 6 o'clock and see what kind of workload I've got. And then sometimes I got a depot down here on Church Street. I might have to go and pick something up. But
What do you mean a depot?
we got a little place we rent down here from Conley, and we got fittings and whatnot in there. And I keep stuff that I might not have on my truck. I might need.
How big is it?
It's a pretty good sized building. It's old Joe Howard Electric building, right beside the Wholesale Supply Group down there. And
So it's like 40 by 60.
no, it's bigger than that. It's a big building. It's and we've got pipe and fittings, and I've got meters down there. I keep meters down there, and then like today when I had to go to Chattanooga, I pick up a few odd things that I don't keep up here.
Or you unload your truck there?
Yeah.
Does it have heat on all the time, or is it cold in there?
No, it's got heat on. See, we've got two guys that work out on the road, and they work out of this office here. And then we got the two that work in Chattanooga that live here in Cleveland, and they'll report there in the morning.
So it's like base camp or something.
Yeah. They just report there and got a bathroom and stuff.
When you leave out at 6, do you go eat breakfast, or have you already eaten breakfast?
Sometimes I will. A lot of times I'll just have a little cereal, but sometimes I'll go catch breakfast with somebody. I might go to Lyra's table every once in a while. That ain't bad.
No.
It's educational.
I went there Saturday, and stuff they was talking about can't be true.
Yeah. It's educational to go over there.
It really is. And if when you hear it over there, it's firsthand, and it might be true, and it may not be true.
You just kind of, you're on your own at that
I
point.
won't even tell you what they was talking about yesterday.
Was it me?
No.
Good. Okay,
But,
as long as it wasn't me.
I won't even tell you what it was, but I guess it'll be out next week. It'll be interesting. Hey, are you going to watch the football game?
I'm going to probably watch it. What do you think? How do you think it's going to go?
If I watch it, it'll be my second football game I've ever watched.
I don't
I don't know.
I'm not really that crazy about it. I'll probably watch it. I used to like to watch it for the halftime, but I don't even really think I want to watch that with the halftime again.
It's got Snoop Dogg.
Yeah,
I like Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, I probably ain't gonna. I
And
don't know.
Eminem. But I don't think it's going to be. It may not be Snoop Dogg because he got some kind of thing on him yesterday, and they may be canceling it.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see.
Be interesting. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I just.
Do you have a real desire to want to help Bradley County?
Absolutely. I've got a compassion to help Bradley County. I always have. And I've always done it and been able to do that through the company. They've always given me my freedom. And that's why you wouldn't believe how many times people call in and complimenting to the gas company about me. And that makes you feel good because I've got a compassion for that. And I want to do the same thing as a commissioner. I want to be that guy that helps people,
There's no question.
And I've always done that. You know that. You've called me before.
There's no question. You want to help more than I want to help.
Yeah, and you do a lot. But I do. I think that I think it makes it a better place. If everybody helped, just think how good the place would be. Instead of everybody taking. You see what I mean?
Yeah. But I think you have I think you want to just be I think you want to be involved. You want to be. I think if there was I don't know. I just think you just want to be involved and try to help. I don't know why that is. It's just in your nature.
It's in my nature. It's just how I was brought up, and I've always. I remember years ago. This was probably in 19.
Going back to one of those things we don't know why we remember.
I remember in 1980, 81, I was coming down Old Tassel Road, and they've been shooting off firecrackers over there at the corner of Blythe Ferry Road and Old Tassel. There's a barn up there, and there was a little 8-in Ford tractor in that barn, and they'd shot a firecracker, and it caught that barn on fire. And I remember I went back, and I knocked that tractor out of gear and pushed that tractor out of the barns. Ain't that crazy? You remember that stuff?
Why is that?
But see, I remember that, and I got a hold of that guy and told him that it was Lambert. And I told him but it saved his tractor. But he was happy about that. But
Yeah.
you know, I don't know. I've just always been that way. You know, somebody.
You've always been in a position to help.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's
I mean, you always seem to be like, I don't know, it's just sort of like your fate has always put you in a position to be of some help. I don't know what.
it's and I just I guess you know that's just in me to do that. You know, and I'm glad. I mean, you know. I don't want to be one of those just a taker and not help somebody. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about is helping one another.
You don't need money.
No, I mean, I'm blessed. I got a good job. And that's just like I told Gary, if I win this election, I said, I don't need the insurance and I don't need a phone, whatever. I said, and I don't know. I don't even know what it pays. Don't matter. I've got a job.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it for the money. And I'm not doing it for the insurance. I'm doing it because I want to help the people. And I think that's what it's about, you know.
Are you really going out and actively, are you just saying, okay, I'm running, vote for me? Or are you really going out and you're working this like an old veteran politician and trying to win this election?
Oh, yeah. I'm knocking on doors and making phone calls and talking to people.
I mean, you're not taking any prisoners. You're going to win. You're going to win.
That's right. That's exactly right. I got out, I've been going out 3 or 4 hours on Saturdays and knocking on doors and putting up signs and
they already know you.
yeah, well, yeah, and that's most of them said, hey, I'm so glad to see that you're running because it's a face I know.
Yeah.
And they also know that they call me, I answer. Right now
Yeah.
I answer.
Yeah.
And they know I'll be the same way as a commissioner.
Boy, I'd hate to be running against you.
Well,
But you wouldn't be mad at the candidate.
no, I'm
That's
not
not
mad.
your- no, you wouldn't
I'm
even-
not mad at the candidate. And
You're-
if he wins, I wish him the best of luck.
I don't even know who he is, but you wouldn't be mad at him.
No, I'm not mad at him, and I've heard he's a good guy. I'm not got anything bad to say. So I mean, you know, like I said,
You ever hear when Jimmy Logan's dad was running against for Register of Deeds, he signed the opponent's petition?
oh yeah,
That's how nice a guy he was.
yeah, hell boy, he was a good man.
He was a good guy.
I really liked him. Yeah, but
And I like Jimmy Logan.
yeah. You just got to take him with a grain of salt, don't you? No, I like Jimmy. He's all right. Yeah.
He
Yeah,
really
he's-
is a good guy.
he's a good guy.
He cares.
Oh yeah.
He really cares.
He really cares. And there again, there's a lot of these people that are good for Bradley County. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Jimmy, look at all the people who works for him. I mean, he's helped
Sure.
a lot of people out.
Have you noticed some of these people in politics? They just sometimes develop an attitude that I can't quite put my finger on.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is.
It changes them. Just like sometimes money will change people. You know what I'm
Or
saying?
power.
Or power. And I'm not going to be that guy. I don't like that. You need to be the same. And anybody knows me knows. If you knew me 40 years ago, I'm the same as I've always been.
Nobody hates a clique worse than me if I'm not in it.
Yeah.
Right?
yeah. I mean, you don't, you are what you are, you know? And just stay the same.
When is the election?
May 3rd.
May the
And
3rd.
don't get stressed. Don't get stressed about nothing. See, you ever see me get stressed?
Hadn't yet.
I don't get stressed. You know.
You're one of the nicest guys I've ever known.
Oh, well,
really. And
thanks.
I'm just, and that's, nobody will argue that. So it's May the 3rd, let's see, this February,
Yeah.
March, April, May. That's less than 3 months.
Oh yeah, I got a lot of doors.
Did you, when you decided, okay, I'm going to, I mean, I could see myself picking up a petition and thinking about it and laying it down and picking it out. But I could never see myself turning it in.
Well,
Did you
see-
have that moment when you thought, eh?
No, because I've always had a compassion to help people and help the community. And that's, to me, is what a commissioner is. It's helping the community and helping the people. And that's the way I am. I mean,
You know, you could run for a higher office and win it. There's no question. But the fact that you're wanting to do the county commission and keep the job you got, you're trying to help both sides.
yeah, and
That
see,
answers.
and I enjoy my job, and I enjoy meeting people and talking to people in my job, and the company's been good to me, and I try to be good to the company because that's a win-win for both of us. And this commission, I just, you know, I went through all the proper procedures to see if I could even run with the company. I called the RD in Chattanooga, and he called the big ones in Atlanta, and they give me their blessing. So then I come back, and they said I needed to reach out to HR, so I sent her an email, and she sent me back a form I had to sign and read all the things about, you know. So, and I've already had somebody call in on me last week that said I was campaigning on company time. And all I was doing, this guy, a fireman, he pulled me over because I danger tagged his father-in-law's furnace. And he's telling me they's putting a new heat exchanger in for nothing on a 20-year-old furnace. But somebody called in, and I don't want to get into all that, but I just looked in the sign. I know where it was that called it in because I was sitting here, and he was sitting here, and there's a driveway in between. And she turned in. I threw up my hand and waved, and she had my opponent sign in the yard. And I thought, ain't that crazy? Now, that's just, you know.
You're not that.
I'm not that guy.
You're not that guy.
I'm not that guy. So I'm like, really? You're going to call in and say, and, you know, I mean, come out here and get in the conversation and you hear what we're discussing.
Yeah.
I mean, but no.
And even if you are you supposed to be penalized? I mean, even if you were, are you supposed to be penalized because you're trying to run? I mean, don't you have a right to run? I can see where you wouldn't have a right to run if you were already there.
Yeah.
Or in a different
position.
But
like I said, we were discussing, I couldn't believe it. I seen a guy over there, and he looked at that unit. It was a 20-year-old unit, but that unit had a lifetime warranty on the heat exchanger, so he put a new heat exchanger in. I couldn't believe that.
Lifetime warranty?
Yeah. I said, boy, I bet they released that. And I wouldn't even thought you could still get a heat exchanger for a 20-year-old unit. But
you're probably as familiar with gas and gas furnaces and gas stuff than anybody in town.
Probably, yes. I've converted, years ago, whenever we took on in 1989, we had a project where we took in all of that down where Lake Forest Middle School is, and that's all propane. So we switched more natural, and I converted all that stuff from propane to natural. Drill out the orifice. So, I've had a lot. And then old Chattanooga Pike, I've done quite a bit of conversion. I've been blessed. I started the gas company, and I was in a ditch, digging ditches, running gas lines. And then I went to meter reading, and then I done some inspecting, and then I've been doing service work and putting meters in, installing them, taking them out. So I've basically done everything there is to do there and know how to do anything there. And to me, that's made me a better gas man because I'm familiar.
You've got a really good sort of a dream job, but you didn't get it. Didn't start out that way,
no,
right?
It didn't start out that way, no. But I've stayed with the course and done what they've asked me to do, and it's worked out. I remember when I started to work here in '77, minimum wage was $1.25. And they started me at $4.20 an hour.
So that was a lot then.
That was a lot then. Well, it's minimum wage, $1.25. I started at $4.20, so that's pretty good. And then within 6 months, I got a 50-cent an hour raise. So
how do you remember all this stuff?
I don't know how I remember. I'm blessed. Isn't that crazy?
It is crazy.
Yeah, it's It's crazy how you remember these things.
And not only did you get a raise, but how many months later you got it?
Yeah, 6 months, 50 cents an hour. I sure did. And I'm very blessed with my memory. And I think that the best thing you can do with your memory is keep active, and that's what I do. I always, and just like like when I'm driving down the road, you see all these new signs, and when I drive by, I just glance at that road sign. Remember that because that you're using your memory, and then I'm liable to get a call, and it's a road I've not even been on, but it's back there, and you say, "Wait, I remember seeing that."
See, I don't even when I'm driving, I don't even know what road I'm on.
You just happy to be there.
Yeah, just going. Well, I wish you luck, Randy, in your campaign. I'm sure I know we'd be lucky to have you as whoever's in your county commission. I'm not in your district, I guess, right?
No. But, well, I hope that I win, and I'm, like I said, but I'm not going to say anything negative, and I'm not going to call in on nobody.
No.
I'm just going to do the best I can do.
And and we're not in work hours right now.
No. But I'm just going to do the best I can do, and I promise you that if I get elected, I'll do the best I can do.
Oh, that's no question. That's no question.
I'm just, I'll give it all, and that's what you got to do, man. You give it all. If you give it all, then you don't have any regrets. You don't have to do any apologizing.
That's right.
So, give it your all. And if y'all ain't good enough, then hey.
You've been a good friend, Randy.
I appreciate you, my friend.